Good morning, the Pen to Parliament Forum. Greetings from your brother and friend, Mamadou Sabally. I'm just here to say thank you, to show gratitude and appreciation for this great initiative of creating a forum called the Pen to Parliament that's non-partisan, comprising of people from different political persuasions with a single purpose and determination to help get me elected into the National Assembly for the common good. I'm most appreciative of this, Mr. Barrow, particularly, and your entire team. I hereby assure you that I'll be more than glad to work with you to make myself available at any time to make sure that this group operates as efficiently as envisaged for the interests of the Gambia. National Assembly is one of the most important institutions in the country, if not the most important, because power in a democracy is vested in the people, and the people's representatives sit in the National Assembly. The people are better represented there, I believe, than even at the helm of affairs, where a mass election produces a single candidate. In this case, half a century of candidates, above 50, would be elected into a body that would make the laws of the country, protect our constitution and sovereignty. And we all know that the Gambia's sovereignty right now is hanging in the balance. So if I'm elected into the National Assembly, I will be a force to ensure that our sovereignty is protected and the Gambia is there for Gambians. We know about the massive and mass auctioning of prime land in this country, which mainly goes to non-Gambians, foreigners, whilst Gambians cannot even get land allocated for their own business. This is a very sad situation for any country, but especially a country as small and tiny as the Gambia. I mean, I've heard about land being allocated to a foreigner in Fonyi, in the thousands of square meters. This was approved by this government for a foreigner from India, and they're telling us it's a naturalized Gambian. Which naturalized Gambian in India would get even 20 by 20 land in India, prime land? Because as far as I'm concerned, Fonyi is prime land. They have one of the most fertile agricultural lands in this country. Still speaking on Fonyi, we saw what happened in Fonyi recently, a foreign country bringing in their forces to fight a war in our land, a war that we have no business being a part of. Capturing an alcalo and a serving security officer of this country and taking them, practically kidnapping them and taking them to a foreign country. These are things that were unimaginable under either President Jawara or President Jammeh. The Gambia needs to fight back to regain our sovereignty, to support and protect the territorial integrity of this country. If elected into the National Assembly, I will be there for everybody. I am running on a UDP ticket, and I'm very proud of that, and I feel honored to be on that ticket. But elected in the National Assembly, we will be there for the interests of the country as advised by our party leader and Secretary General. The National Assembly is the institution where the most important policy document of the country is analyzed and approved and monitored. That is the national budget. I've been blessed with the privilege of having served as National Budget Director of this country, so I know a little about the budget, its implementation, monitoring, and evaluation. If elected into this assembly, I will be the voice of the voiceless to make sure that every single penny that's paid into the state coffers as tax is effectively and efficiently appropriated and deployed to serve the interests of the poor people of this country, to make sure our budget is prioritized, to overhaul and strengthen our education sector, to fully and properly finance our health sector, to make sure our infrastructure is not only built, but also maintained as expected with the monies of the taxpayers. Mine will be an era, a new dawn, an era of service, accountability, and real representation as deserved by the people of this country. If elected into the National Assembly, I will make sure that I work across the political aisle with other representatives from different political parties to make sure that we speak with one voice as Gambians. Our political parties are conduits for us to achieve one big aim, to make the Gambia a better country. And if I'm in the National Assembly, I will make sure that there's greater cooperation, collaboration, and unity among National Assembly members, regardless of political affiliation or region. Because at the end of the day, we are all there for one thing, for one entity, for the Gambia. It's a beautiful, bountiful country, a blessed country, but a country that's being torn apart by the vices of tribalism, by the vices of political brinkmanship, by the vices of a benign dictatorship that is now going all out to cancel contracts of business people whose political beliefs are different from the powers that be. This is not a good sign for our democracy. We need to strengthen our democracy, not to weaken it. And the best way to strengthen our democracy, to protect our institutions, to make sure that the executive gets checked adequately and responsibly, is to make sure we have a National Assembly that has a very effective opposition force that will be there, not just to fight with the executive, but to work with them, to counsel them, to challenge them, to make sure that we have the best outcomes in terms of legislation, in terms of our budgets, in terms of policies, but again, most importantly, to make sure that the country's sovereignty is protected, to make sure that the young people of this country are protected, are supported, are educated, are trained, are financed to transform their talents and skills into useful goods and services for the benefit of the country. It's your brother Mamadou Sabally. I thank you all again for creating this fantastic platform, the Pen to the Parliament, a non-partisan platform to help get me elected into the National Assembly. Thank you very much.